to the news.
And everything else.
We're just going to listen to the news as soon as it comes on.
This is CPR News. 90.1 FM KCFR Denver, 1490 AM
We're just listening to the news and then we're going to shut the live off.
at 90.1 FM and on your smart speaker. Say, play CPR News.
Celebrate Colorado with 81023 on 303 Day. Join us for music, food and drink, and community. Live sets by Cheap Perfume, Bruja, and Graveyard Choir. Tuesday, March 3rd at number 38 in Denver's Rhino Arts District.
Oh, it was 38
Details
seconds,
at
right, when he said number 38.
81023.org.
Thanks, fairies.
Wildfires
That was magical.
and once-in-a-century storms are increasingly impacting neighborhoods across
Once in a
Colorado
century,
and the country.
increasingly.
How are homes being
Climate change.
reimagined for the next 100 years?
We destroy all these buildings, literally burn them down, so that we can figure out how to make them better.
Building Tomorrow, a special from Marketplace Morning Report and This Old House Radio Hour at 9 on CPR News and KRCC.
Okay, here comes the news. After this, we're shutting it down.
Welcome to Newsday on the BBC World Service with Luke Jones in London
BBC
and
News.
Seoul in Nairobi.
Israel has demanded the removal of all enriched uranium from Iran as part of any nuclear deal between Tehran and the United States ahead of talks in Switzerland. We will speak to one of our BBC colleagues monitoring the talks and the situation inside Iran.
The alleged gunman of the Bondi Beach shooting in Australia, Naveed Akram, has appeared via video link at a magistrate's court for the first time. We'll speak to our correspondent in Sydney as the community there still reels from that tragic day.
Also ahead, Nick Marsh on our Singapore business desk will have more on US pop star Taylor Swift blocking a bedding brand from using Swift Home as a trademark.
That and more after the latest world news.
Swift home. What would that even mean? And what's wrong with it? I don't understand that.
BBC News with Chris Barrow. The alleged gunman of the Bondi Beach shooting in Australia has appeared via video link at a magistrate court in Sydney for the first time. Naveed Akram faces 59 charges over the massacre at a Jewish celebration in December. More details from our correspondent in Sydney, Katie Watson.
He's at a Supermax prison about a couple of hours outside of Sydney. He was wearing a green prison issue jumper. He said very little. There was some discussion about some reporting restrictions on the identities of survivors. He was asked whether he kind of understood that conversation. He said yes, and pretty much that was it. Now, his lawyer was asked whether or not there was any understanding of which way he would be pleading. And according to the journalists who were there outside the court, the understanding is it's still too early.
Israel's Prime Minister has demanded the removal of all enriched uranium from Iran as part of any deal on Tehran's nuclear program. Benjamin Netanyahu was speaking as Iran's foreign minister travelled to Switzerland for the latest round of indirect talks with the United States. Our correspondent Simi Jaliosho is in Washington, D.C.
Officials here in the U.S. say that it's Iran, not the U.S., that's holding up progress in negotiations. Iran has said that it's willing to curb part of its nuclear program in exchange for economic sanction relief. Now, when Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu came to Washington, he said the deal with Iran needs to go beyond its nuclear program. He said restrictions need to be placed on its ballistic missiles and on its support for proxies in the region.
In a new Instagram video, the American celebrity news host Savannah Guthrie has addressed the kidnappers of her 84-year-old mother, Nancy. In the emotional message, Ms. Guthrie said she and her family still had hope their mother would be returned safely.
I wanted to say to whoever has her or knows where she is, it is never too late to do the right thing. And we are here. And we believe in the essential goodness of every human being.
Nancy Guthrie went missing more than 2 weeks ago, and police believe she was abducted from her home in Arizona. Investigators are examining DNA from a glove that was recovered from a field about 3 kilometers away. They say the glove appears to match those worn by a masked intruder who was seen in doorbell video footage at the house.
American News also mentioned they had 14 other gloves that were from their own searchers
and the state of emergency in El Salvador have protested
were
against
delaying
the mass trials
testing
planned
stuff
by the government of President Nayib Bukele. Around 90,000 people have been arrested since 2022 in the president's crackdown on gangs, often without a warrant. There are fears many innocent people will be convicted without due process.
Good to see you.
This is the world news from the BBC.
I was just listening to the news, though.
The Chinese tech company ByteDance has told the BBC it will curb its artificial intelligence video app Dance, which is being used to create viral, lifelike clips of Hollywood stars. Disney and other entertainment giants had threatened legal action. More from our business correspondent, Nick Marsh.
Dance 2.0 was only launched publicly a few days ago, and already these cease and desist letters are piling up. Disney have also got Paramount, Skydance, the Motion Picture Association in Hollywood as well, all alleging that Dance, that ByteDance, is essentially infringing their intellectual property, and is even potentially training its model on their content. Now, we did reach out to ByteDance. They told us that the company respects intellectual property rights. It's taking steps to strengthen current safeguards to prevent the unauthorized use of intellectual property.
The North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has presided over a completion ceremony of a newly built street of flats for the bereaved families of troops who died in military operations abroad. He said the buildings symbolize the spirit and sacrifice of the fallen soldiers.
In Ukraine,
Heavy
Putin
rains
got
and high
killed.
winds have triggered floods, mudslides and power outages on New Zealand's North Island. Wind gusts of almost 200 kilometres per hour hit parts of the capital, Wellington. More than 30,000 homes are without electricity.
I don't think AI has
In
to be
Rio de
used for
Janeiro,
evil.
the city's world-famous carnival
We should
parade
stop
has
it
got
being used for
underway
evil.
amid controversy over the depiction of President Luis Inácio Lula da Silva. One of the samba schools has opted to feature President Lula as its theme, the first time a sitting president has received such a tribute. The school's display includes a 22-metre statue of the president and mocking images of the former right-wing leader, Jair Bolsonaro.
Nice. Well done, students.
And that's the latest world news
That's
from
awesome.
the BBC.
Wish we were making fun of Trump Hooteniers here that way. Trump,
Hello, welcome to Newsday
Donna
on BBC
Kupatinsky,
World
and
Service, live today from
his
Nairobi
daddy
with
Vladdy,
Anne
and
Soy, and from London with
Bibi
Peter Jones.
Netanyahu.
Coming up, we have stories for you on the Iran talks, Australia's Bondi Beach shooting suspect in court, and the reaction from Kiev to discussions about Ukraine's future at the Munich Security Conference.
That all
As
sounds
a
interesting,
people
but I'm gonna go
know, if you think about any
inside.
of
Maybe
this,
talk to you guys
can
later.
text us or WhatsApp us on the following number, +44 77 86 20 50 85.
We start in the Middle East, where tensions over a possible US strike on Iran continue. Israel's prime minister demanded the removal of
Okay.
all enriched uranium from Iran
We've heard
as
enough.
part of any deal on Tehran's